Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Living the Sweet Life. I'm your host, TJ Sweet. And on this podcast, I'm going to be talking about different ways that will help you live with intention, reshape your mindset, and look at the world through a grateful lens. So this week, I want to talk about as we start to the spring season. I want to talk about spring cleaning your mind, your body, and your surroundings. But before I dive into that, I want to first give thanks to all of you that listen and support and subscribe on YouTube and on any podcast platform that you listen to. So I appreciate you. And just know that your support and your encouragement really means a lot to me and allows me to continue to do this for free. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button now so that you can continue to get notifications when these episodes come out every Monday, what we call Mindset Monday. So let's dive in to understanding what spring cleaning is really all about, but not necessarily just our spaces, but also our mind and our body. So, kind of spring is known for this season of renewal, right? We get to see nature outside really start to breathe new life, and we start to see more green and more colors. And there's this sense of vitality, right? That, as we refresh our mind and our bodies and our surroundings, and, it's just this renewed vitality that we see, and we get inspired by the springtime. One, we get to look forward to being outside and feeling that sun and longer days, but also there's this idea of a fresh start. And so spring really does offer a fantastic opportunity to declutter our lives and also refresh our physical spaces and also our minds and our bodies. And, just as we, tend to do some spring cleaning around the house, and maybe it's something you have on a schedule, or maybe you just open the windows and feel that fresh air, or whatever it is, we also can kind of take a moment to rejuvenate our inner and outer worlds, and have this renewed sense of vitality and well-being, like I mentioned earlier. So one thing is, I'm going to talk about a few different areas here, right? So I'm going to talk about clearing your mind, nourishing your body, and decluttering your surroundings. So because it's hard to do one of these things and not have it impact the other. And, this spring season really does kind of offer us opportunity to do some intentional cleaning out, but also some intentional goal setting. And so first, I want to talk a little bit about clearing your mind and kind of what that looks like. And so, I know not everybody has the same experience with meditation and some different things, but I'll talk a little bit more around just maybe it's getting in control of your mind and starting to have some thoughts that you want to be having instead of the thoughts that maybe weighed you down during a season of winter in our lives. What are some thoughts that you can have in a season of spring in your mind? So I'm going to give you some just general background, and then I'll kind of walk through some specific powerful thoughts that I hope will resonate with you. So when it comes to clearing your mind, so the first really kind of key action that I'll talk about is this sense of mindfulness. And you hear about meditation a lot, and meditation is something that's really transformed my life and my ability to respond more to life than react to it. Because when you're in control of your mind, you're in control of your emotions and your feelings and your behaviors, and you're less influenced by things that come up that you didn't anticipate in your life. So life can be busy, and most of the time it is. And, but our mind can be cluttered with this idea of stress and worries and distractions. And, to kind of clear away some of that mental clutter and cultivate this sense of calm, clarity, and committing to a daily practice of gratitude, to positive affirmations, and then just an I am statement. And I've talked about this is the same format that I utilize every day in my life. It's actually the format of the first book called Practice Gratitude, Find Joy that I was able to publish back in 2019. But it really does help you kind of declutter, right? It's the broom of sweeping out all of these other thoughts, because we can't be grateful and stressed at the same time. We can't be grateful and angry at the same time. So, this idea of clearing your mind starts with understanding your first thoughts, understanding self awareness, right? But it's also important to understand that for us to really kind of be mindful, we sometimes need a quiet space to sit comfortably. and, just focus on your breath and just being present. And I'm sure you can relate to this. As springtime comes up, I enjoy being outside as much as possible. And so I do things, I listen to audiobooks, or I read a book, or I listen to, TED Talks or inspirational speakers or whatever it may be. But I do as much of it outside as I can, because I know what it does to me, on a circadian rhythm sense as well, but also just vitamin D and serotonin release and just all of the health benefits of being outside. But if you can, just stop and think about what it feels like just to sit outside, not with your phone, not with a book, but just be outside. Sometimes just that alone, starting your day with that, maybe finishing your day with that. Maybe it's going on a lunch break, right? If you have 5 minutes, a lot of people think, well, I don't have the full 30 minutes or full hour, whatever it is, if you're guided and structured in that way. But even if you have 5 minutes to go, just close your eyes and feel that sun on your face, it makes a difference. And just feel your shoulders drop, just like mine just did. Feel your shoulders drop, take a breath, and just think. Not what do you need to do, not your list, but just think. And sometimes that's the most opportune time to think about what you're grateful for and what you're excited about. And maybe it's time to think about what's heavy on your mind, or, what's something that you love about your life. And maybe it's just appreciating the simple things in your life. But sometimes this stress of having no thought makes us have many thoughts. And so maybe if we just focus on one thing, like who we are, what we're grateful for, or something that someone that we're grateful for, maybe that thought alone will completely change the way that your mind's thinking. And so allow yourself to kind of observe your thoughts without judgment. Just have them. Don't judge them, just have them, but be present. But also then kind of bring your focus back to the present moment, wherever your mind wanders throughout any moment of your time that you're focusing and committing to here. But with consistent practice of doing this, you'll kind of start to recognize the mental clarity and the reduced stress and the really overall enhanced well-being. So write down some of the things that you feel like are your self-limiting beliefs. Write down the things that you wish you would have done in the winter, but you didn't. Let go of that. You have springtime. Spring is here. Don't be in the winter. And so, if we're in this space of, feeling like we want to get started, and you're ready to excited, and, and you're ready to make some changes, and you're feeling inspired by spring, and you have this renewed energy, and your sleep's better, and you want to be outside, I just encourage you to kind of write down 3 positive affirmations about who you are and the gifts you have on a daily basis. Again, this is the same kind of format that I work through in the book. I do this every day on my I write it on my bathroom mirror every day, but, focus more on what you want instead of what you don't want, right? This is part of that decluttering of your mind. Focus more on who you are and less on who you aren't, and appreciate your growth and find joy in the progress that you're making. Now, the idea of some of these things that I just said, it's really, if I were to simply say it, it's about focus on thoughts that give you energy, not take your energy. Be aware of how you feel based on the thoughts you have and the words that you use. And so you're going to hear me say this multiple times. Oftentimes, during the springtime, we may feel tired, but oftentimes it's because of 2 things. 1, we haven't rested enough. Or 2, we aren't doing enough things that give us energy, or consuming enough things, or having enough conversations that give us energy. So this is all about energy, right? And so the next piece, after we declutter and kind of clear our mind a little bit, you allow room to have some different thoughts, maybe less emotional thoughts, that lead us to being inspired to nourish your body. So kind of adopt this idea of eating foods that give you energy. I'll probably say that a few times throughout this, but just as you clean out pantries and refrigerators during spring cleaning, of which is something that I do, you can also take the opportunity to kind of reassess your daily dietary habits and make healthier choices that give you more energy. So transitioning to a whole foods diet, really kind of rich in fruits and vegetables and whole grains and lean proteins and healthy fats, kind of really provides your body it's the best chance for your body to feel at its best, which will then make you want to do more things as you have more energy in your life. And so kind of fill your plate, right? This is kind of a simple thought, but fill your plate with colorful, nutrient dense foods. Okay. And minimize some processed foods, the sugary snacks and the unhealthy fats. Fueling your body with nourishing foods will boost your energy levels, support your immune system, and promote overall health. And this word again, vitality. So pay attention to how you feel when you eat certain foods. Not every food affects everybody the same way. Inflammation is something that I've studied and researched a lot. And so just be aware of how you feel. If you eat something and you feel tired, probably take note of that. Food's supposed to energize us, not supposed to make us tired. So if you eat something, like people talk about Thanksgiving all the time, you eat a bunch of turkey and tryptophan and all that, and you feel tired, is that something you really want to be eating all the time? I'm not saying you can or can't eat turkey. I'm just saying just be cognizant and aware that maybe the foods that you're eating are contributing to why you're so tired. But also recognize when you eat cleaner foods, it's just the way the body works. When you eat cleaner foods, single ingredient foods. So this is kind of a simple way to look at this. And so if you struggle with, kind of what should you be eating, you can go as far as if it has an ingredient list, don't eat it, right? If it has an ingredient list, that means there's more than one ingredient typically. But really trying to find food that makes you feel energized, and like for me, I pay attention to certain fruits and veggies and meats and different things that I eat and certain things that I drink that give me energy, and focus on intentionally consuming more of those things. And, so if you eat, this is something that I've struggled with throughout my life, but if you kind of eat based on an emotional state, so if you're stressed, if you start eating, just think about why you're stressed. And then also if you can do anything about it. But if think about why you're stressed, but also if the food that you're eating is resolving your stress, then great. If it's shifting your stress to something later, then maybe take a pause or maybe eat a different balance of that food. Because I get it. Every once in a while you want a piece of chocolate, having a piece of chocolate's fine. Having an entire bag of M&Ms is more than a piece of chocolate. There's more to that story than just wanting a piece of chocolate. So, and this is me calling myself out. Trust me, I'm not throwing stones here. It's just a matter of understanding why do we eat what we eat when we eat it. So commit to eating what you know you should be eating, and you will see that your body and your mind will be renewed, refreshed, and energized. But also, it'll become easier to eat the foods that you are going to commit to eating, right? And so it's like this idea of, people say all the time, I don't know which diet to go on. Well, it's different for everybody. So I wouldn't just assume that the Whole30 is a perfect diet for everybody, or keto is, or carnivore diet, or, low carb, high, whatever the thing is. Just find something that works for you, that you actually enjoy the process, because finding a diet that you don't enjoy, you won't follow. So there's no point in even starting that diet. So find some whole foods, some single ingredient foods that you love to eat. And, I had a trainer a long time ago said, I want you to eat what you want, but I want you to want to eat different foods. That, the power of choice, matters. So if you have a goal of feeling energized or losing weight, or whatever it is, just think about, are you eating something that's helping you move towards that or not? And if not, again, it's about balance. It's not about this idea of sacrifice. It's about discipline and choosing. So if you find some foods that you love to eat that are good for you, just eat more of those foods and let go of the identity of eating some of the other processed foods. Or, even if you eat the single ingredient foods 80% of the time, and you kind of do whatever you want to do the other 20% of the time, it's still pretty consistent. So just be consistent with that. And again, consistency over intensity, but also setting yourself up nutritionally to where you want to eat the food. You get excited about making and eating the food and who you get to enjoy that food with. So that's really the key to decluttering your kind of, if you will, simplifying your nutrition, is really think about foods that you should be eating to help you go to where you want to go, or feel the way you want to feel, or look the way you want to look, or whatever the thing is. But really thinking about the food is supposed to be energy giving, not energy taking. So be aware of how you feel. But once you start making healthier choices, your body will reward you with the desire to make more healthy choices. This is why people say it takes 21 days to start a habit, or to keep a habit, maintain a habit, whatever the language is. But really, my suggestion really is thinking about the mindset related to the habit. That will create more discipline in your life. And then you will want to do more things that give you more energy. So the third thing I want to talk about is about refreshing your surroundings. So decluttering and organizing your space. Speaking candidly, I know when my office or my desk is a mess, it's because my mind is a mess. It's because I have too many things going on. I'm not thinking clearly. And my desk and my space starts to look like it as well. But also when my desk is clean and my house is clean and my office is clean and my room is clean, all the different things, I think more clearly. Okay. So, a cluttered and disorganized environment can be, something that leads to stress or feeling overwhelmed or even tired, right? Because you kind of look around and think there's too much going on, there's too much stimulation. And so take time to declutter and organize your living spaces, creating a plan and, kind of this environment that feels energy giving, that kind of creates this sense of peace and also productivity. Because when we can focus, we get more done. But when there's constant distractions around us, it's really hard to get some things done. And so, organize your remaining belongings in a way that kind of, maximize space and minimizes clutter. So I've moved multiple times in my life, and most of the time I just get a dumpster outside the house before I pack up things and just start unloading things. And it's rejuvenating. And this idea of decluttering clothes or items in your house or things that if you haven't touched it in a year or forgot that you even had it, either donate it, make a difference in somebody else's life with that item, or sell it, right? If you want to. Obviously, there's a million different ways to sell things these days, but and maybe just the idea of getting rid of it creates space for something new that's energy giving and maybe something you actually need instead of something you wanted a while ago. Now, consider incorporating, some storage as well, right? So I'm not just assuming throw away everything, but it's also a matter of organizing some things. And so like bins and baskets and shelves and different ways for you to kind of feel like you're not just stacking things up everywhere. Again, it's not about less things. Sometimes it's about how you organize the things that you have. And so really a tidy and a clean and organized space will kind of create the sense of calm and kind of peace, allowing you to fully enjoy your surroundings and focusing on what matters most. And I love to clean, and I love a clean house, and I love just having simple surroundings, and it's really something because of how it makes me feel. And we all can probably relate to that. When you have a clean house, you have a clean car, you have a clean office, whatever it is, it just feels different. Well, pay attention to that. And every once in a while, do a check-in and kind of look around and think, my office is a mess, my desk is a mess, my car is a mess. What's going on? What's really going on? Because we're kind of creating something that works against us ourselves. And so, really a cluttered home or room or office is because of that reflection of a busy mind. And, and sometimes that compounds on itself because then our mind gets more busy because of the mess we've created. So just commit to 30 minutes of cleaning something up and you'll be amazed by the progress you'll make. And so really cleaning out the surroundings that you have will help you focus and help you think less and be less distracted. But also this idea of giving back. So this is a really unique opportunity that most of us have, and it's about finding joy and giving back. So again, you can sell something if you want, or donate it to somebody else who needs it. And that idea of cleaning out to give back is sometimes that inspiration that we need to start to declutter our surroundings so that our mind and our bodies can be more at a peak state. So again, focus on the space that you're in, and is it energy giving or is it energy taking and stress inducing? And as we kind of wrap up here, so embracing this idea of spring. Spring is forward. There's an upward movement of the word spring. There's energy giving to that word just in itself. But remember that the process kind of extends well beyond just physical spaces. It also is about, clearing your mind and nourishing your body and kind of refreshing all the things about your surroundings. And, you'll cultivate this greater sense of vitality and balance and well-being in every area of your life, even in your relationships. And, embrace this opportunity to renew and commit to incorporating the things I've talked about of, refreshing your surroundings, nourishing your body, and clearing your mind as you start to enjoy the sunshine. And, with a refreshed mind, body, and environment, you'll kind of step into spring with a renewed sense of energy, purpose, gratitude, and joy. So thank you for listening to this episode. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. I hope you have a spring full of new opportunities and you take advantage to kind of declutter some of the areas of your life. And I hope, there's a renewed sense in your heart, in your mind, in your soul, in your body, and in your surroundings. So thank you again for listening. Please hit that subscribe button just so that I can, again, continue to offer this to as many of you as in many ways as possible. And if you want to sign up for a newsletter that I send out every month, please message me, go on my platform, go on social media. You can find me there. Go to my website, tjsweet.net, and you'll be able to stay in touch with all the different things I talk about on a weekly basis, but also on a monthly basis. I'm excited to start that, new ways of reaching more of you so that I can, make a positive difference in your lives and in the lives of the people that you're the most grateful for. So I will wrap up this episode like I do every episode in saying that you always have the power and the choice to live with intention, reshape your mindset, and look at the world through a grateful lens. Until the next episode, never stop.